The federal government comes on board, allowing the Toronto Transit Commission to negotiate exclusively with Alstom on a new subway contract. Good evening, I'm Ryan Benazzo. Thank you for joining us. Local politicians and Alstom employees are celebrating the news that all three levels of government have now given the TTC the go-ahead to sole source a major subway contract directly to the company. The project to build 70 subway trains totaling 420 cars is valued at close to $3 billion. But some of that work is expected to be done at Alstom's plant in Kingston, and local officials are lobbying to have most of the work come here. Jonathan Wilson reports.
It's the announcement that officials in Thunder Bay have been waiting a long time to hear. The Toronto Transit Commission says it's been given the green light to sole source the Line 2 subway contract to Alstom. And that contract just got bigger as well. It was originally for 55 subway trains, consisting of 330 total cars, with a value of $2.2 billion. It's now been bumped to 70 trains and 420 cars.
And to see that all three levels of government again supported this and supported the sole sourcing, as well as the TTC, this is great news. Great news for us. It's great news for Alstom. This is what the union's been lobbying for a couple of years now. And finally, we had the announcement, and it's exactly kind of what we wanted to hear. It's Alstom got the contract.
This is fantastic news for Thunder Bay. It's fantastic news for all the people that work at Alstom.
The federal share of the funding for the contract was announced back in November, with Minister Chrystia Freeland saying she expected and would like to see the cars built in Thunder Bay. But there were no guarantees at that time that Alstom would even win the contract. The push to abandon a request for tenders and sole source the contract due to U.S. tariffs started with Ontario Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria in April. Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow agreed with that idea and then called on the federal government in June to get on board. Now that's official, but Pawlowski says this was always his government's intent.
There wasn't really any question as to whether the government supported this. I think they certainly do. Chrystia Freeland made that fantastic statement a number of months ago that those trains would be built right here in Thunder Bay. I think there is almost uniformity of opinion that we want as much of the work as possible done in Canada and in Thunder Bay, but you have to cross the T's, dot the I's, and get the legalities right, and that's what's taken a bit of time.
The last time the Thunder Bay plant built 420 Toronto Rocket subway cars between 2007 and 2014. The contract created 400 to 500 local jobs, but it appears this contract will be shared between the Thunder Bay Alstom plant and the one in Kingston. The question now is, which site will get more than 50% of the work?
The two main facilities in Ontario are the Thunder Bay site and the Kingston site. The last time we had final assembly here, so the union's going to be fighting hard to make sure that final assembly is done here in Thunder Bay again. As long as the bulk of the work and a lot of the spin-off jobs, we want to be in Thunder Bay and the surrounding area as well, so it's good for the Thunder Bay and the region.
And I think that's part of the negotiations, but I would certainly like to see most of the work done in Thunder Bay with final assembly being done in Thunder Bay.
The fine details of the contract, including the price tag and the scope of work at each plant, will be finalized by Alstom and the TTC by the end of the year. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
And Thunder Bay Atikokan MPP Kevin Holland has also expressed his satisfaction, saying in part, "I'm very pleased that the TTC has now agreed with our advocacy to protect Ontario's transit manufacturing and workers, anchoring hundreds of good-paying jobs in Thunder Bay."